pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good afternoon. Is there anyone here for the 2-minute open forum? All right, anyone, either one of you up to the microphone, please. Name and address.
Gary Morgenroth, 1125 Cherrywood Court. First of all, I want to say you guys didn't have to change any nameplates, but congratulations, Vic and Frank, for your victories, okay?
Thank you.
However, my wife came home from voting on that Tuesday morning, and she was so mad, she could have bit off a 20-penny nail. And Mr. Bentrude, what I'm going to share in the next minute or two, or whatever it's going to take me here,
2 minutes.
May have a direct effect on how your results turned out. Polling place rules. Only authorized people are allowed inside a polling place during voting hours, such as voters, their minor children, poll workers, and someone assisting a voter. People may not gather or linger in polling place or within 100 feet of the building. For a complete list of who is allowed inside, see Minnesota Statute 204C.06. I reported to the state, do you have an overhead here? I reported to the state of Minnesota at 1:49 p.m. after I went to vote, after my wife came home and told me what was going on at the polling place at Discovery School. Then I went to vote, and yes, it was going on. There's a table set up, manned by Muslim people. We don't know what they were doing. I don't understand their language. But I questioned it when I went back a second time because I didn't feel comfortable either. And it was a table by United Way. But it says on down here that no one may campaign inside a polling place within 100 feet of the building. If polling place or the public property, no one can campaign anywhere in the property, even beyond the 100 feet. However, a prohibition of signs and campaign materials within 100 feet is not allowed. And it goes on the back here that you can't promote something within that polling area. What's being promoted here is United Way to give away stuff. I called the state of Minnesota, Secretary of State office. I talked to a guy by the name of Nasser. At 1:49 p.m., told him what was going on there. He said, I got to go, Gary, we've got to get somebody on that right away. No, they cannot do that. They cannot have anything set up there. And the reason I'm saying this is, and I asked Mr. Bentrude to pay attention to what I'm going to show next, is this was an email I got about 3 weeks before the election, 2 weeks, maybe, whatever it was. I don't know if there's a date on it or not. And it was to support for Mr. Steve Soika from Mohammed Mohammed. Mohammed Mohammed is the guy that I had the fortune of meeting 18 and a half years ago when he tried to put the Quran in my business. Mohammed Mohammed is the guy that came into Tom Emmer's camp 2 years ago and swung the vote. When I talked to Mr. Soika, not the Monday before the election, a week before that, he called me because I had questioned about that. He called me, and I said to him, I said, Steve, I said, do you know what you're doing? He says, well, I'm not sure what you mean, Gary. I said, Steve, do you know what you're doing? This is what I told him. I said, you're selling your soul to the devil.
Gary, you got 4 minutes up of your 2 minutes, so
I'm
kind
going to
of
say one
summarize.
Yeah, I will summarize very quickly. About a year ago, I came to this city council meeting, and I handed out this packet to every one of you that were in attendance that day. And I've questioned a few people about it, and I have a feeling this all wound up in the trash can. I'm going to read a sentence and I'm done. They are then to work to employ, direct, and unify Muslim efforts and powers for this process. In order to do that, we must possess the mastery of art of coalitions, the art of absorptions, and the principles of cooperation. The principles of cooperation. Do you understand that? There'll probably be more to come out of this, but I found out some other interesting stuff just today, too, about the involvement of Unite Cloud in all of this stuff also. But
All
I'll
right.
stop right for there.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks for your comments. Anyone else?
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon. Peter Joseph Wilson, Sartell, Minnesota. The reason I'm here has to do with this event. A lot of times you can say, hey, it might be, it could be, but it is readily apparent that there are people there on an ongoing basis in the sanctity, let's use that word, of the voting area. That is not permissible. Now the question becomes, quite simply, because it's readily apparent, and I'm certain there are a number of people who would gladly testify. So now we need to start looking around this room. Who is responsible for election integrity? Is it someone in this room? Is it not? In other words, someone is either responsible or accountable for having allowed that to happen. Did they ask someone a question? Was someone asked, can we set this up here? Who did that? Someone at that school? Someone at the city council? Someone somewhere else? That's a very important thing. From there on, we have to start looking at what is the consequence for committing what is either a known or unknown act. I know if I did certain things, Mr. Ventru might have an issue with me, even if I knew or didn't know the consequences. But anyway, once this is determined, I would like to know if there's going to be someone who has a letter of reprimand placed in their file. I want to know if there's someone who is going to be removed from their position and or fired and or subject to criminal consequences. I insist on this. I insist it be made public. From there, I guess I would like to see, can anyone here guarantee me that there was nothing inappropriate said? And even if it wasn't, they certainly violated the standards of 100 feet of a building. Having sold business insurance to dealerships for almost 30 years, I understand the difference between premises and buildings. Thank you.
All right, thanks for your comments. All right, anyone else? 2-minute open forum. Anyone else? Anyone else? All right, review and approve council agenda. If it's all right? No changes? All right,
Move to approve as presented.
Second.
further discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, passed unanimously. Consent agenda, item A, approve council minutes of 9/4/18. Item B, approve council minutes of 9/17. Item C, approve new returning massage enterprise and therapist license at 304 4th Avenue Northeast. Item D, approve 2018 canvass of municipal election results. Item F, approve change order number 2 at Rivers Edge Park Phase 3 improvements. Item G, approve change order number 3 for Rivers Edge Phase 3 park improvements. Item H, approve change order 1 on amphitheater Phase 1 project. Item I, approve resolution awarding the sale of approximately $5.1 million taxable general obligation tax abatement bonds. And item J, approve 2019 annual renewal of liquor, tobacco, and hotel license.
Okay,
K.
Oh, did I miss K?
K's on our sheet.
and also E.
Where's K on our sheets?
It's,
On the
it should be
computer.
on the other,
Not on this one.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
that
not.
one.
Okay.
He
K,
pulled
approve quote to replace concrete floor and drains in fire department.
And E.
I don't have.
Approve request to harbor 4 pets.
Harbor 4 pets. That's not on this one either. All right,
I would like to pull E and I.
I would like to pull K.
all right, somebody, let's see, well, why don't we do them all at once? Frank, why don't you do your K first? Let's pull K.
It's more about maybe of a question for Bill. When I read the quote, they were gonna make the frames out of mild steel and then galvanize them. Did anybody give any thought just to make it out of stainless steel and be done?
Price.
Did they,
Yeah,
did they do some comparison?
Yeah, we conferred with Al from Al's Ornamental on it.
Yeah.
And he suggested going this way. For
It is cheaper,
Yep.
because there's quite a bit of lag time with getting things galvanized, so I just thought I'd ask. All right, I'll move to approve K.
All right, is there a second to K?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, passed unanimously. Mike, E and I.
E, the request for 4 pets, I don't see that she's probably here. However, I did consult with our legal department on this issue. If there are 2 service dogs, those service dogs or animals are not considered pets. So therefore, she doesn't need a waiver for the 4th animal to come in because she would be within our ordinance of 2 pets.
Oh, really? All right.
Under the American Disabilities Act, assuming these are legitimate service animals, they're not considered pets.
So as long as
So-
she has,
Good to
as
know.
long as she has proof, documentation that they're
Yeah.
needed as service pets, or not just her, anybody.
Yeah, we can't,
You can't
limit them.
deny that anyway.
No.
correct.
Okay, so what I'll do for this right now, that we don't know that these are certified, they say they are, a lot of people say their animals are certified service pets. If in fact they are certified, both pets, I will approve for the 4th. However, if in the future any of these animals would be deceased or they get rid of them, there will be no 4th animal allowed in that address. Hopefully that will take care of it if we find out that they're not certified. So,
All right, how about I?
So do you want a motion
you
on
wanna,
that?
We'll do them all at once. and
Oh,
after.
okay.
okay, I just was questioning if you needed some time to explain or just here for quick
Mayor,
sig-
Council, I would be happy to answer any questions, but otherwise, there's a resolution before you for consideration.
And that's fine with the way it,
It
okay.
is, and being you pulled it in general terms, it was very close to the finance plan. It was excellent results for the city today in the market, and Northland would recommend that you approve the resolution.
All right, thank you.
I just have a question, as long as you're standing there. I noticed under B, bond terms, we're indicating $5.120 million. Does that include, is that just the principal? Does that include the interest?
Mayor, council member, the final amount is actually $5,115,000. When your resolution and agenda was before the sale, we took bids this morning. Cost of issuance came in less, so the final amount is $5,115,000. That is principal.
Principal only?
Yes.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All right,
Move to
thanks.
approve
No,
E and
no,
R, do you
no,
wanna
no.
go?
We're gonna move, somebody wanna move to approve A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J?
I'll move it.
I'll second.
Further discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed unanimously. Thank you. All right, regular agenda item A, assessment of unpaid city charges. Please take notice that the Way Park City Council will hold a public hearing on the 13th day of November 2018 at 4:30 PM or soon thereafter at the Way Park City Hall located at 19 13th Avenue North, Way Park, to consider the assessment of unpaid city charges pursuant to Minnesota Statute 429.011 to 429.111. The property proposed to be assessed for which improvement is as follows. There's 2 of them. The second one, 98.60925, has been paid, so it actually is for 98.60665.0400, 2330 County Road 137. The estimated assessment, I guess that's changed now too. A reasonable estimate of the impact of the assessment will be available at the hearing for public review. Anyone wishing to contest the assessment, therefore, should be in attendance. It was dated the 15th day of October. Is there anyone here to,
Is this for mowing and things like that?
for false fire department false alarm.
False
A lot of them
false
were false
alarms.
alarms or fire alarms. After what,
It's all
three?
one property.
Is it three? We give them three, or what do we give?
Or four.
Five,
Four?
isn't it?
Whatever, it's too many,
Four.
too many false alarms, yeah. All right, is there anyone here for the public hearing? Public hearing is open at 4:44. If not, we can close the public hearing at 4:45.
Move to close the public hearing.
Second.
Further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed unanimously. And your wishes on the assessment charge?
Move to approve the assessments.
Second.
Further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed unanimously. I don't have anything, except I guess we're going to Alexandria for a meeting Thursday and Friday, so.
We have bills.
Oh, bills. We don't want,
And there are a lot of bills.
Carla got caught up.
Wow.
Yeah, sorry.
Took a long time to go
She-
through all that.
She didn't know how you might feel about that one.
your wishes,
I'm glad I didn't have to compile them.
your wishes on the bills?
I'll move to approve the,
Second.
Further discussion, all in favor?
aye.
Opposed? Passed unanimously. Shauna, you have anything?
No, we don't need that. No, I don't have anything. We are looking at doing our work session next Monday. I sent you, an email out regarding that.
Hopefully the snow will melt.
Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it? And the coalition's conference Thursday and Friday.
All right, Terry, you got anything? Bill? John?
No, sir.
Chief?
You know, I would like to share, this morning, in front of the Stearns County Board of Commissioners, we awarded life-saving pins to a couple of Wake Park officers. There was a 4-year-old that went underwater and required CPR. There were several civilians or park attendees that found the child and started CPR. Officers Brent Nyhammer and Dan Nelson from Wake Park responded to assist, and through their efforts, life-saving efforts, the 4-year-old is now 5 years old, and so it was a very nice ceremony. But I just wanted to publicly acknowledge that ceremony this morning, and just let our listeners know that our officers continue to do good work.
All right, thank you. Carla? Keith? Gordon?
Nothing.
All right, we are adjourned at 4:48.